Hello, all you beautiful souls. Quit smoking tip number 4. What I want to talk about today is the power of distraction. So, thinking about habits and thoughts and how the thought of wanting a cigarette comes up, and then we focus on that thought and we pay attention to that thought. And the more that we pay attention to that thought, the more that that thought starts amplifying, right? It starts gaining momentum. It starts gaining so much momentum that eventually that thought has all the power and you no longer do. And so being able to utilize distraction as a mechanism to kind of interrupt that pattern of thinking, right? That pattern of thought. Your unconscious mind is simply dutifully reminding you that it's time to have a cigarette because this is something that you've been doing for years and years and years. So it uses less energy for the unconscious mind to simply remind you and say, hey, it's time for a cigarette. And it produces that reminder in the form of a craving, however that shows up for you. For some people, it's a thought. For some people, it's a feeling. For some people, it's a vision, right? Whatever it is for you, your unconscious mind is just doing its duty, conserving energy. It's doing what it considers keeping you alive. And so it's reminding you, hey, it's time for a cigarette. It doesn't understand that the cigarette's killing you. It doesn't know that. The unconscious mind doesn't know right and wrong, good and bad. It knows familiar and unfamiliar. And smoking right now is familiar. And you're alive. And so it just says, okay, we're going to go ahead and keep reminding you to have that cigarette. So think about the thought like a cloud in the sky, right? Let it go. Just watch it go by. That is one thing to just understand that thought is probably only going to last about, oh, I don't know, a minute, maybe. Probably not even that. It's actually, I think it's way less than that. So just let it go. I think the easiest way to let it go, not to say, no, I'm not going to have that thought, because the minute that you say that, you're actually amplifying the energy going to the thought. I'll give you an example. All right. All of you right now, I'm going to give you an instruction. I want you to really, really, really be careful. Do not think about a blue elephant. Do not think about a blue elephant. What's the first thing that popped into your head? The first image? A blue elephant, of course, because you have to think about a blue elephant in order to try to not think about a blue elephant, which means that you've already failed because you've thought about the blue elephant. So if you say I'm not going to think about smoking, well, you have to think about smoking in order to try to not think about smoking, and then that's just making it a whole lot harder. So instead, every time that that thought or that feeling or that vision of that craving, right, comes up for you, however it is, immediately go to something else, right? You can think about a song. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. I'm a non-smoker now. Whatever it is for you, right? So you can come up with a song. You can be like, automatically go to do something different, right? Do, 10 jumping jacks. I had some clients that they would go into the bathroom. Every time they wanted a cigarette, they would go into the bathroom and they would do jumping jacks or deep knee bends. And they do like 10 of them or 20 of them, right? And so it was really fun because every time they'd go into the bathroom, they would come out, right, with this big smile on their face. Everybody was wondering what was going on. Why did they keep going into the bathroom? And of course, they were quick trips to the bathroom because they didn't really need to go to the bathroom. They were just doing this pattern interrupt in order to be able to allow them to let that thought go by. When you focus all of your attention on something else, now you're no longer thinking about that original thought. So that really is the lesson for today, is to use distraction to your advantage. Set it up in advance, right? So you're not like trying to scramble, well, what am I going to think about? Because so that I'm not thinking about smoking. And then what have you done? You've amplified that, right? When you hold on to a thought for 17 seconds, and then you hold on to it for another 17 seconds, and then another 17 seconds, the law of attraction is simply going to bring you more and more and more of those same thoughts. And then that thought gets so much momentum that eventually that thought now has the control and the power, right? And then you have, it's going to be really, really hard to say, okay, I'm not going to have that cigarette. So catch it in the beginning, the minute, start becoming familiar when that first thought, feeling, vision of a cigarette, however that craving shows up for you. Start becoming familiar with that and immediately set what's that trigger going to be, right? I'm going to see how fast I can run around the, house. I'm going to see how fast I can climb up and down these stairs. Anything. It can be the breathing. And if you use the breathing, right? Breathe in through your nose. Feel the air coming in through your nose. Feel it coming into the back of your throat and down into your lungs. Feel your stomach expanding, and then start paying attention to your toes and seeing if you can feel a tingling in your toes. And then really blow that air out and say, how long can I blow the air out for? And now you are so focused on the breathing and every aspect of the breathing. It is totally consuming your thoughts. And guess what? That's the only thing you're thinking about. So use distraction. Tip number 4 for quitting smoking. This is Rebecca with Mind Over Matter Hypnosis. And I hope you're having a wonderful